And it's time for our favorite time of the week, winners and losers.
So I go first?
You go first. Dan, who's your winner?
My winner is the new acting sheriff, Richard Schmidt, who did well in his first press conference, as we were just talking about. Hit all the right tones and said everything that he was supposed to say. Presented a very different agenda than what we expect from Sheriff Clark. He even talked about cooperating with Chief Flynn in the Milwaukee Police Department. So I mean, he did well.
He didn't yell at anybody, right?
He did, yeah. He in fact talked about cooperating with the media on stories and stuff. But at the same time, it's easy to say that stuff. It'll be interesting to see how someone who considers himself a Sheriff Clark protege puts that into action. So.
Okay, so Richard Schmidt, your winner. Who's your loser?
Is the Milwaukee Motors in the transportation deal that Patrick was just talking about. You could say, you know, that the governor was a winner because there are no tax increases. They don't have to deal with that. But the bottom line is projects in the Milwaukee area on the interstate around here, I-94, are not going to be done. They're going to be delayed as a result. So in exchange for no gas tax increase, we end up with a delay on the projects here.
Okay, so Mary.
We're spending a lot of time on the zoo interchange.
Yeah, I expect to spend a little more time if you're going west
more
and east.
Than usual. Okay.
So, Mary, who's your loser of the week?
I'm going to say House Speaker Paul Ryan, which, you know, I feel like this always comes up.
I feel like you're piling on.
I feel like he just has this like bad romance with Donald Trump, where like they're not on the same page. He tries to not be too confrontational with him, but then like he says he doesn't think he should end DACA, for childhood
This was last Friday,
arrivals.
right before he came in to see us.
Right, last Friday he says he shouldn't end this. Then Trump does. Then Paul Ryan backtracks and says, like, well, I think he did the right thing. We'll deal with this in Congress. But then he's like, oh, but don't play politics with the debt ceiling. And then, of course, Trump works out a deal with Democrats on the debt ceiling. So it just seems like he just can't win in this
And this morning he's now saying, oh, Trump had to do this because this is his bipartisan moment, and he needs that. So that's what's going on. You know, it was interesting in our talk with him on Friday. I asked him, I point out to him that very few things have gotten across the finish line. He's not accomplished a whole lot as a speaker. They've passed bills in the House, but he hasn't gotten them through the Senate and to the president. And he acknowledged, he said it's frustrating and it's been difficult to get things done.
Okay, so Mary, who's your winner this week?
Tom Barrett. So the Milwaukee mayor was facing a recall from people saying, he had dereliction of duty, the streetcar, lead pipes, and concerns about lead exposure. And it really just fizzled out very quietly. I never saw a single person gathering signatures. I didn't see petitions around town. I didn't see signs or any kind of movement. It was like the quietest recall I had ever, in Madison during the Walker recall, it was like you couldn't go anywhere without seeing people gathering signatures. Here it was like I didn't find one. So, given I didn't go to places where I heard they were handing them out, like the union, the firefighters union. But it was, I don't know that we'll ever know how many signatures they actually gathered, because I guess they were going to shred them to protect people's privacy, but I'm going to guess it was not many, and nowhere close to the 51,000 that they would have needed.
To roll things back even further, there was a recall attempt, you might remember, against Herb Kohl and Russ Feingold over partial birth abortion. That thing failed as well, but the recall people were everywhere, and they ended up turning in 300,000 signatures, which people then used as a database to call and raise money for conservative candidates. But just like you were saying with the Walker recall, you couldn't go to the grocery store without people trying to get you to sign anything. I did not see a single person trying to collect signatures on this. It was a failed effort from the very beginning.